Welcome to Feminine Mysteries. My name is Catalina Rivera Dois, and in today's video, we will explore another queen story of perimenopause supported by the blood mysteries. And I'll be introducing to you a very dear sister, Lisa Maurer, who is a lifelong body worker that specializes in birthing and that has been training in the womb mysteries for many, many years. So as you settle in, please let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love hearing from you, and consider pressing like and subscribe if this content resonates. It's absolutely free and supports both the channel and my work of bringing ancient new womb wisdom into the world once again. So let's dive into Lisa's story of perimenopause held within the Blessed Mysteries lineage.
Hello, everybody. Kia ora from New Zealand. Thank you so much, Catalina, for inviting me. And it's just to me to talk about this. Yeah, this is for me the most important thing we women can talk about, about our moon blood, and that is our power. And so you said something very important that I think I could start with. And you said this word primordial spirituality, and that really pinged me because I feel that is what has for me personally always been missing. Um, I've been on a very long journey in different spiritual teachings, and I started practicing a little bit, doing rituals with my own moon blood on the earth. But then later on, I met you, or I would say you came into my life. And for me, that was a real coming home, you know, for me. uh, for me, I realized that thing that I felt was missing, which is part of me, that working with the primal feminine and anything around death, birth, midwifing, when you're in the field of birth, there is something so deeply missing. And there's that connection to mother, to our great mother, to Mother Earth, to our blood that creates life, and is that connection that brings us back to through the lineage to give us some roots and to make sense and to to bring us back into that power that's been targeted and lost, and I would say on purpose been taken from us because it's so powerful. So it's been a long journey for me. And yeah, I wish I would have known this before. And I could say it's like a remembrance, but there was so much that um, I also didn't know that you were providing for us and that we have been diving together into to discover in the blood mystery. So for me, coming into the temple or into that cauldron, it's like a sacred space, or like for me, it's like a cauldron that you were holding for us, where we feel so deeply supported. And I have not felt this anywhere else before. And um, and I think it is that connection to our womb and the moon blood and to mother, and that the unconditional love that you holding the space for us with. And I think that's what for me was the most crucial. Again, I feel like it's been given to me somehow that I met you, and then we've been all these years with other sisters going through all this incredible diving deep into the underworld, and shedding skin, and there was some such deep shadows coming up from me, I was so much in denial about my perimenopause. I didn't even know that word, to be honest. It's only actually, I just had a client yesterday saying I didn't know there was a perimenopause. And you brought this so beautifully in the blood mystery, we have covered every season of the woman, the maiden. Well, we covered birth and everything that comes for a woman afterwards, all these rite of passages, initiations we go through, which is so crucial to be acknowledged and supported through it, like when we get our blood, and then when a woman becomes the mother, it's mostly always just about that's okay, but it's mostly just about the baby, that the baby is okay, and is not enough holding for the mother. And then I didn't even know that there was a queen. Um, I didn't know that there was something so deeply missing, especially for when a mother comes straight out of motherhood, and then where is she in this huge gap of this 10 years? So that's all something that I have with you in the blood mystery. I feel all the most important things we need. In fact, I feel like if we don't reclaim that and reconnect to our moon blood and to our womb, for me, it's almost impossible to heal that relationship with mother as such, and to heal this deep wounding that we have around mother on the planet Earth. It's so ingrained. Yeah, so I think that the greatest challenge I had coming into that perimenopause um, and the queen phase, I had this idea that what the queen's supposed to be. And we have these fairy tale ideas. I've been watching other sisters and I was compared. I was wanted to be out there and visible. And I thought, why can't I not be this? And what am I doing wrong? And like all this wounding, like every wounding you can name came up. And you've been holding me through this so deeply with that unconditional love without judgment, just consistently holding me and other women in the temple or in the blood mystery temple during this phase. And so it was like a big fighting, and an internal ripping myself almost apart of pulling that I felt. And I finally, so that what happened actually, my father died, and that brought me into that deep grief phase and into facing death even deeper. Um, so that changed for me everything. That brought me more home even more, and it forced me to go inside even more. There was no such thing as you got to go out there now and do, I've already done 7 years of holding circles and doing my mother holding that exhausted me almost. And then I realized, wow, there was something was missing again. And that the queen as such was looking different than I thought, And then I realized when I deeply connected with the bee as the queen bee in a hive, I realized, wow, that's not a process of, for me right now, visibility. It's coming in and feeling that inner anchor and that even deeper connection to my womb. And that is my guidance to mother, to the great mother. And that there was more, like I just realized that I had to go quite a long way um, to find myself there in that anchor, and that it's like that inner leadership, that inner reclaiming that it's not what others think of me. And so I'm getting slowly there. And I have to say, it's certainly not, I've given myself these 10 years to go through that without trying to force myself. You must do this, you must, others do that already in your age. And like, all of the things that come with it, and just giving myself all that time. And now slowly, as more as I come to myself and coming into my inner alignment, I would say, that's what the Queen for me is really about, coming into my inner alignment and really trusting and feeling even more deeper guided and held by Mother. And so from that place, I feel slowly little doors opening up where I can explore what leadership would mean, or what it actually means to be that queen. It's something different. It's actually for me not even the visibility as such. It's that inner strength, inner beauty, inner love. All of that needs to be. I need to really feel this and anchor in that in myself. And from there, you become so clear and aligned. And that balance between the feminine and masculine. And then I feel it's coming back to the queen bee, then you start to be able to navigate and see a bigger picture that you can lead. So that's sort of been my journey so far in that queen phase for my perimenopause. And I could stabilize myself through that. I've went through big holes, which is okay. And in the blood mystery, it given me the idea or the stability that it's okay. You can fall apart. It's okay. Your hormones are okay to drop. It's natural. It's okay to be in a big hole for a day, 2 days, a week. I have to take this as an opportunity to ask questions, to know that something precious will come out of that. And that's what I learned with you and in the blood mystery. And another thing I wanted to say is I'm still bleeding. So I use my moon blood as my like sacred tool. So whenever there is something really big going on, I will use my moon blood as my sacred technology. And also as my sacred technology to reclaim my power and my sovereignty, because sovereignty at the moment is such a big thing on all levels when we look into the world. And that is one big thing for me. How can I become more free and sovereign on many different levels, like spiritually, with contracting, with the system, anything that comes with that. Yeah. So,
So just feeling into what has been shared. And I just want to highlight there are these like big themes, right, that arise in perimenopause. So many of us go through big initiations during this time. Like for you, it was the death of your father. For other sisters, it might be health, it might be marriage, it might be, job changes. But it is kind of archetypal that during this phase, we go through these big changes and transformations, and that they help us dive deeper into our own depths. So I just want to honor that, and just really feeling how within the lineage, with all your own personal work, it gives you the tools, right, to be able to navigate and honor your body where it's going and what it needs, and to truly listen, right? And once you have those tools, you know what to do, right? You know how to navigate, you know how to listen, you know what questions to ask. And I love how you said that, it's okay. It's okay to fall apart. It's okay to fluctuate. It's okay to not be, visible and productive and out there and shining all the time. Even those like holes we go into, they have a purpose, and we can lean into them with love and compassion and curiosity. And there's always these beautiful gifts that emerge from that. And I want to thank you for sharing your journey, and for just embodying this wisdom through your own life, right? And the leaning into one of the gifts of the queen, like you also said, is that we're undergoing these huge initiation, these huge transformations that, even though the fairy tale of the queen is kind of visible and out there, it's actually, like you said, anchoring within us first, right? It starts here, and it's an inward pull. It needs to be in first, right? But because we're still bleeding, even if it's not necessarily as regularly or that pattern changes, we still have that sacred tool, that medicine that really supports and helps us navigate the changes we're in. So I love that you're doing that. Is there anything you would recommend, or any last message we would share with sisters watching this that might be going through this phase?
Yes, so what I feel and what I see a lot is that there is lists of symptoms and a lot of fear put on us women, and especially in mainstream, for those women who have not really found like a mystery school like me. Um, it's incredible the fear that has been put on us and all the things that can go wrong. I feel having that connection to the womb, first of all, that is an inner guidance, and having that strong container with you in the blood mystery, and learning about going through the sacred initiations like you guided us through actually reclaiming the maiden, the mother, and go through all these woundings and healing and finding the gift there, and the gem in that, and then going through the queen and covering all of these archetypes is such a map and guidance, and that you can use when fear comes up or anything really. So for me, that is something I would recommend every woman. This is so crucial. This is connects us with our primal feminine and with who we truly are as divine human beings. If we haven't um, made peace or haven't connected to our moon blood, then there is something so deeply missing. And I feel that's what I would recommend every woman to, even if it's just acknowledging the blood, the moon blood, even if it's the last drop. And yeah, and the other thing is the sisterhood and your guidance that we have, and a place where we can share together and remember together and reconnect together to something most sacred. For me, this is the most sacred technology that we have on the planet Earth. And yeah, that's for me the most important, to be honest.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I love that you brought in the sisterhood, right? And this part of the remembrance that we're not meant to do this alone, right? None of us do it alone. I don't do it alone, right? We we need each other. We've always navigated the initiations of womanhood with our community, with our soul sisters. Um, and we're remembering that together. So thank you for bringing that in, and the importance of that connection to our moon blood and these maps that we all hold. Like, that's the beauty. Primordial, this is our primordial feminine spirituality, like you've said many times through this transmission, is like, this is our original like inner map that's etched into our biology and our spirit. And there is such a homecoming and a relief to lean into that inner map, right? Yeah.
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 I
Beautiful.
always that red thread. You always said that red thread. It's like I can hold on that red thread, And I
Yeah.
know my whole lineage, it connects me to that, and then it connects me to my beloved great mother, where I come from. And so that to me, that's it,
That's it. Yeah, that's beautiful. And once you have that connection, is yours forever, right? No matter what happens. And that's what the security and the beauty of this lineage, just that it reconnects you to all of that, all those resources that no matter what the outer circumstances are, no matter what changes in life, right? Once that connection is there, you can always lean into that red thread. You can always lean into mother. You can always lean into your sisterhood. You can always lean into your ancestors. There is always safety and support and guidance and healing available to you on demand if you just go back in and connect, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, beloved Lisa. So loves, if this, we are coming to the conclusion of this chapter. If the story has resonated, again, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you are intrigued with Lisa and her own work, I'll be placing more about her in the description below so you can check out. And if you would like to step deeper into the Blood and Mysteries, again, in the description, there will be more resources and offerings for you to explore. And I want to thank you, Lisa, and thank all of you that are watching, sisters. Thank you for being part of the remembrance of our feminine mysteries. I hope that what you have received through our time together has been nourishing and illuminating, has catalyzed your own womb wisdom and remembrance. Please remember always you hold everything you need already within you, and it is together that we remember. Many blessings, happy moon times until we meet again. Bye.